And welcome back to All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. We are back to News of the Day and the news for the 24th of March, 2022. It's been a little while since we've done this game, but I thought I want to get back to it because I do like doing this. I do like sharing, unique news, things that you don't normally see, but more importantly, the news that you can find on a map. In other words, where did this happen? Where did this occur? And I feel that that's important, and fun. I also want to know your input if you do like this. I know there's a bunch of you out there that do follow and really like the News of the Day games. Comment down below if you'd like to see me do this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a every other day basis, whatever you want. I'd love to hear your input because this is a game that takes a little more time to do, find the news, etc. But I do want to make sure that it's to what you want. So we're going to get into this. We're going to do this as a no time limit moving allowed challenge. And as always, the play along link will be in the description below. I do see that GeoGuessr's kind of changed things up here a little bit. And we're going to get right into it and see where we start out. Well, the first one we've got is Brussels. Brussels National, there's the Ring Road, and there's NATO, which is somewhere around here. And why is this important? What does this say? This is just a gate or something, or a fence. Western leaders are meeting to discuss Ukrainian support at NATO today. President Joe Biden is headed, I believe he's supposed to speak today at some point, not sure when, but he is in Brussels to speak and meet with the Western leaders for 3 summits on Russia's war in Ukraine, a month after the invasion began. NATO, the G7, and EU are all holding meetings in a display of unity rarely seen by the West, which is interesting. Mr. Biden will take part in all 3. The first ever visit by a U.S. president to an EU summit in Brussels. So that's pretty interesting. And we're going to take a look at NATO headquarters. And, we're not really going to take a look at NATO headquarters because I'll tell you in a minute why we can't. But we'll definitely go to Brussels and find out where we are located here on the map. So we are near Schaerbeek, or north, I think, in this area, Harin, Flanders, and the border of Brussels and Flanders. There it is, NATO headquarters. And I think we are at this intersection here. I am almost sure. So, one of the things I wanted to mention is looking on a map, this whole area is basically free of the Google car. And not many photospheres either. So, I guess there's a reason behind that. Probably they don't want to know anything about the buildings. Not really sure, but this, if you go in and make a map or look on any type of the polygon or any, whatever it's called, I'm not even sure what it's called actually, to be honest, but whatever you go into Google Maps and you find like all that blue, well, there's like a big hole here of nothing. And I'm guessing there's a reason for that. So just wanted to let you know as just a point of an interesting point about that, and that's NATO. So let's go there, and we are 4 yards, 5,000 points. A big summit there today. All right, off to the next round. We are off to the north of Europe, and in Finland at Giganti. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but this looks like a mega store near Hobby Hall in Finland. So what's the importance about this store? Like, why is that on the news? Well, the Finns are stocking up on portable radios after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. One retailer said last week's sales of battery-powered radios were triple that of the same time last year. Interesting. Electronic retailers in Finland have seen increased sales of battery-powered radios in the past few weeks, suggesting that some residents are preparing for the possibility of a coming emergency situation. Sales of portable radios began to tick up at the electronics chain store Vaikan Kone in Sodankyla shortly, say that 15 times, Sodankyla shortly, after Russia's deadly invasion of Ukraine, according to shopmanner Juka Havisto. So this is interesting. And then we come down here. Portable radio sales have doubled at electronics store chain Giganti, according to the retailer sales manager Sami Kinnunen, who noted last week's sales were about triple that of the same time last year. We're selling all kinds of radios, but ones with batteries are the most popular. It can be said that the change is significant. We're not talking of sales of thousands, but rather hundreds. So some models have sold out. So it's very interesting. Obviously, with this, with what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, this is obviously playing into folks that are on border Russia, such as Finland and different Poland and different countries, Belarus. There's a lot of stuff going on that isn't normal. I'll just say that, and that's why I'll leave it at that. Is it's not normal. And in Finland, my guess is that people are thinking, listen, if the power's off or we go through a period of time, maybe the best thing to do is to stock up and to have things just in case, which is always a good thing no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's Ukraine, Russia, or anything. It could be a windstorm. It could be a hurricane, or it could be a snowstorm. It could be power outages. It could be solar flares. Whatever it is, it's always good to be prepared. I guess that's my take anyway. So let's find out where this store is, and I think it's a mega store near Vantaa, outside of Helsinki on the 45, if I recall. And Bauhaus. There it is, the Giganti mega store, Vanta Tamisto. And I think we're right about there. So that's where we are, and 50 yards, 5,000 points, off to the next news event of the day. By the way, all news events, articles that I show here are in the description below. Okay, so the next one, we're off to a foggy, cloudy, green place, driving on the left-hand side of the road. Where would one think we are in that situation? Probably Ireland, and yes, the Garda, which is, I guess, the Irish name for police, the Guards. Garda. That's their little symbol there. Now, here's the other question from those from Ireland. Is this light turn blue at night? I've always wanted to know that because I've seen that a couple times. But we've got DC Design Fixed Furniture. Why the heck are we in Ireland? Let's just take a look. There's a road sign up there. And we're Dublin, Blanchardstown Centre, Ballycoolan. And I'm not sure what that says, Clonsilla, perhaps. And like normal, there's a Circle K that we find in many countries around the world. So, well, we're here because, well, good old Conor McGregor. Why else would we be in Ireland? No, just kidding. Conor McGregor is arrested for dangerous driving. His Bentley was briefly seized. Maybe the guards or the Garda wanted a Bentley to drive around. Who knows? Always wondered that. Conor McGregor was arrested in Ireland on suspicion of dangerous driving Tuesday. Robert Schiller of The Independent reported police seized his Bentley for a short time after a traffic stop for alleged traffic offenses. He was charged with dangerous driving before being released. He's set to appear for a hearing next month at the Blanchardstown District Court in Dublin. The charge carries a maximum of up to 6 months in prison and a €5,000 fine. Mr. McGregor was driving to the gym. I guess he had to get to the gym fast, right? When he was stopped by Gardaí for alleged road traffic violations. He passed the drug and alcohol test taken at the station. So interesting. Conor McGregor driving his Bentley, having a good old time. I guess he just wants to get to the gym. I can't blame him for that. And maybe the Garda wanted to, meet him, get an autograph, and maybe drive around the Bentley. Who knows? You never know these days. But let's find out where Blanchardstown is. I've actually been near Blanchardstown. before at some point in my life. Yes, I have. But I think we're out. There it is, Blanchardstown. Here, Blanchardstown, Connolly Hospital, the Nike factory store. Wonder what gym he was going to, but the Garda station is right here. I think we were right about there. And Blanchardstown, Dublin, Ireland. 5,000 points. And we get off to the next news event of the day. And we head off to a beach. So from Blanchardstown, the foggy, gray day of Blanchardstown, Ireland, we head off to the sun of Mississippi. What the heck are we doing in Mississippi? Well, this is what we're doing in Mississippi, is that trying to find a 207-year-old whaling ship discovered in the Gulf of Mexico. There it is there, the anchor. Discovery of a 207-year-old whaling ship in the Gulf of Mexico is shedding light on the history of its black and Native American crew members in the early 1800s. The NOAA, for short, and partners discovered Industry, a two-masted 60-foot wooden brig on February 25th off the coast of Pascagoula, Mississippi. Built in 1815 in Westport, Massachusetts, the whaling brig mainly hunted sperm whales across the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico for about 20 years. Industry was lost in 1836 during a storm that snapped two masts and opened its hull into the sea. Black and Native American history is American history, and this critical discovery serves as an important reminder of the vast contributions Black and Native Americans have made to our country, that's a good thing here. And you can go to the article a little further here, but it's a pretty good one. Always interesting. I see some fish here, which is and some line, but yeah, the ship. Interesting discoveries. So learning about new things each and every day, especially here in the United States. Didn't realize how much. I'm sure there's probably a lot more of wreckage in different parts of the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic, and the Pacific United States. Let's find out where Pascagoula, or where this ship was found, off this coast somewhere. And Pascagoula, Mississippi, we've got to find near Biloxi, I believe. There it is, Pascagoula. And we are near a pier at Pascagoula Beach Park on Beach Road. Is it Beach Road? Beach Boulevard and City Park. There we are. Snow froze and I am health athlete. Okay, whatever that is. But my guess is that it's off this coast somewhere, which could be, I don't know if it's on the inside of these Gulf Islands National Seashore or out this way. But nonetheless, somewhere out there. We're going to guess there. And we were 1 yard, 5,000 points. Off to the fifth and final news event of the day, and we are looking at SBPH, St. Bernard's Parish. We are in what is a rainy, stormy-looking area. There's a Holiday Inn Express. Well, where are we? Where would this be? Well, in Louisiana. And Louisiana twister carved destruction in mere moments. Happened yesterday on the heels of tornadoes in Texas the day before. I'll go to the map in a little bit to show you a little bit about this, because I'm sure most of you in the world aren't really familiar with tornadoes. But they do happen in the United States quite often. So Arabi, Louisiana, a powerful tornado took mere seconds to rip off roofs and destroy homes as it chiseled a path of destruction through a New Orleans area neighborhood where one man died, residents said Wednesday as they picked through wreckage and mourned their neighbor. Tuesday night's tornado in St. Bernard Parish sprung from a storm system blamed for earlier tornadoes in Texas that killed a woman north of Dallas and prompted Governor Greg Abbott to declare a disaster in 16 counties. Yes, there's been a lot of tornadoes. I'm sure, unfortunately, it will continue just with changing weather patterns from the winter to the summer in the United States. And let's take a look at this on the map. So we're going to look at St. Bernard Parish in New Orleans. But before we do, I'm just going to say this part of the country. So if you can see from Texas to Oklahoma up to Kansas, let's just draw. Here the Appalachians come down. The Appalachians come down this way here, right? So anywhere from, let's say, Nashville, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Kansas City, Wichita, this whole area, down even to eastern New Mexico. And then you got mountains. So basically from the Rocky Mountains to the Appalachians, and especially in this area of the United States, is prone to a lot of tornadic activity, generally from about February until about May or early June. And the reason being is there's changing weather patterns that come, the prevailing weather pattern in the winter comes down, brings cold air from the north up here. And in the spring or summer, it comes basically, it can get dry, it can come from the north, but a lot of it is influenced, the jet stream, Gulf Stream. In any case, comes a little further north, and you get a lot of more westerly, southwesterly, and where the cold air comes down and meets the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico, you get a massive amounts of storm. Consequently, in this winter, too, you see a lot of big snowstorms on the East Coast. The reason being is cold air coming from the northwest meets the warm tropical air from the south and produces a lot of storms. So that's why this area is ripe for tornadoes, especially when cold air sinks and hot air rises. That's my weather report of the day. No, but if you see anything about tornadoes, this happens in this part of the world a lot. So let's take a look at, there we are, Arabi, where we were. And I think we were at the St. Bernard Parish Hospital near the Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. So hopefully everybody's doing well there. Hopefully, clean up and all that stuff, goes okay. And it's unfortunate that people have passed away. That's unfortunate. Hopefully keep in thoughts and prayers, all that stuff. And hopefully this is kind of limited this time of year. But like I said, unfortunately, it's what it is. This is what happens in this part of the world each and every spring, for the most part. It can happen other times of the years, but primarily in the spring. That is my update on tornadoes. Again, if you have any comments, any questions on this game, comment down below. I want to hear if you want this daily, monthly, weekly, every other day. It's up to you. So we traveled from Finland to Brussels and NATO to Dublin, Ireland, and Conor McGregor, and to the Gulf of Mexico. And yes, you might be thinking, yes, hurricanes come this way as well. So you get, unfortunately, in this part of the world, you're going to get tornadoes from February to May, and then from June until November, you can get hurricanes. So make sure you have your insurance in this part of the world, that is for sure. Make sure, going back to Finland, that you have your portable radios, you have your preps, you're prepared to do whatever you need to do in the wake of any type of natural disasters or events. That is my public service announcement. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you tune in. Hit the like button if you like this, and share this with your friends. Hit the subscribe button. Until next time, cheers.